So now we're starting the interview by Keegan Donofrio of the amazing Galay. So to start off, we're going to ask some questions about background. So where were you born and raised?
I was born in Quezon City. It's a couple miles away from Manila, which is one of the bigger cities. And my mom was from Pangasinan, which is a province. So I was raised more in Quezon City, but we would always go to Pangasinan to visit family in the province.
Did you have any siblings growing up, and if so, how many?
I have one older brother and two younger sisters. Yeah, we are all pretty close.
Who raised you?
My mom, my grandma, my yaya, and basically all my cousins, everybody, yeah.
So what'd your mom do for a living?
My mom was an accountant for the U.S. Embassy, and yeah.
When you were living there, was your family in a good situation economically?
Yeah, I would say so. My dad had his own clinic. He was a doctor, and he had his own clinic at home and another clinic more in the city. And my mom did well. She was an accountant, and so we were in a good situation financially. Yeah.
So because of that, did you have to help around the house as a kid, or did you have like a kind of a free childhood?
It was a free childhood, but yeah, I had to help out around the house. I don't know, like picking up stuff that I left behind. But I did have a babysitter, like a 24-hour babysitter, a yaya, and she basically did most of the stuff for me and my brother and sisters.
So what was school like? Where'd you go, and do you feel like you got a quality education in the Philippines?
I went to an all-girl Catholic school. It was called Holy Family, and I do feel like I had a really good quality education. It was very well-rounded. They taught, besides the subjects that you need, like math, science, all of that, they also taught correct manners, right conduct. They also taught religion, because obviously it was a Catholic school. And yeah, I mean, the teachers were good. They were very strict. There was an English class that I had, and if I spoke one lick of Tagalog, they would deduct points from my total grade. And I mean, it's all for the sake of, I guess, learning English, because it's really important. So, I mean, it was a better transition for me coming here because of that.
Okay. So in this English class, was your teacher a Filipino, or did they come from America, or?
No, she was Filipino. She knew English. She had different methods, though. Like, I know that one of the things, like, again, if I spoke one lick of Tagalog, like, she would deduct points, but the way she found out that I spoke a lick of Tagalog was by putting, like, classmates against each other. So if a classmate hears me say something in Tagalog, she'd, like, write up something and then give it to the teacher, and then that's how she would deduct points. So, yeah.
So even though you guys weren't supposed to do this, and it probably seemed kind of like she was pitting you against each other, do you think that helped you guys stay in line? Like you have all your other classmates who are making sure you're not speaking Tagalog in this class, so you're learning your English. You think that was a good thing for the teacher to do?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Because in the end, it's all about education, and it did help us all learn English better. So, yeah, I think that's a good one.
So, what was your fondest memory of growing up in the Philippines?
My fondest memory? Probably any Christmas. So, it's much different from the Christmases here.
You had a lot of people over?
Definitely a lot of people over. The whole community is decorated in, I don't know, like plastic, colorful stuff. Kids from the neighborhood would get bottle caps and tie it on like a little wire thing and make it into, I guess, a symbol, or not a symbol, some kind of like anything that makes noise, and they would do Christmas caroling to every single neighbor for like money or something. And celebrations are always good. There's music, food everywhere, family. Yeah, Christmases are always good.
How old were you when you first realized you wanted to move here to America?
It wasn't my decision. I loved living there. I knew everybody. It was my parents' decision. I actually left with my dad and my brother first. So we separated from my mom and two sisters to come here because it was easier financially to have it go in shifts. But yeah, I was 10 when I left. I left with my dad and my brother.
What route did you guys take to get here?
We used an airline, Philippine Airlines, and we stopped over in Korea and came to the Bay Area.
So what's the first thing you missed when you got here?
Definitely my family. My mom and my sisters the most, my grandma and my cousins. I knew it was going to be a long time until I got to see them, so yeah, them. I always wrote letters, sent it. Yeah.
So on settling in the U.S., where did you originally end up staying?
I stayed with my uncle in Vallejo. He took me and my brother, and we went to school in Vallejo first, and then my dad stayed with my aunt in South City. My mom and my sisters came. My dad had saved up enough money, and we eventually moved to Daly City.
So who petitioned for you to emigrate here?
My dad did. Apparently, when my grandfather fought for the U.S. Army in the Philippines during World War II, and in the early 90s, I guess there was a law that passed that any veterans who fought for the U.S. Became citizens, and I guess my dad was a son, so he was a citizen already. So when we came, he petitioned for me and my brother. I didn't have to take the test. I was younger than 18, but I do remember taking the oath. So, yeah, my dad petitioned for us.